Hi all. Today in this bonus session, we are going to talk about a very interesting topic, or I would say one of the most burning and relevant topic in today's world. That's manager's checklist, which is driving development when employees are remote. Obviously, at this point of time, that's applicable almost to all the organizations and most of the managers because their teams are not in front of them, but teams are actually located in different places across the country, across the world as well. Yes, prior to this pandemic situation, there were things where people used to have different remote workers, not only at their own location, but different other location of the country, in fact, in different international locations as well. So remote working was definitely not a very new thing to them. But on the other hand, what used to happen at that point of time, as few of their team members are in immediately in front of them and few of the team members are there not in front of them, there was not that much pressing urgency that they should think about something different whenever people are remote, because at least some of them are in front of them. So always, the emphasize the importance and the different types of learning, team building would be happening whoever is directly in front of them. Not applicable to everyone, but at most of the cases that used to happen. But now, when everyone is working remotely, there is no question of having a team in front of you. You need to come up with something which would be helpful for your team building, team culture, conversation, communication, all this type of aspects. So here we are going to talk about a team of business development representatives, or BDR, and how a manager or how a very senior manager has actually contributed towards different aspect of team building, team management, culture management, all these aspects when the entire team is working remotely. Now here we are going to talk about primarily couple of functions like onboarding. Then we'll talk about developmental conversations. We'll talk about gathering feedback. We'll also talk about building team culture, and lastly, definitely the culture of the entire team. Now, obviously, all these factors are very soft in nature. They are not really very process oriented a lot of cases, or sometimes we miss different things whenever we actually want to address the issues related to this process. Now, remote working actually has given an opportunity to the manager to work on these areas and make it more robust and make it more appropriate, effective. Let us understand how. We will start with the process or function of onboarding. We have divided the entire comparison into two parts. Before remote working, what used to happen, and after remote work, what is happening now, and how the process has changed, improved, or become more effective. Now, the first one, in case of onboarding, the manager used to learn about employees' preference during the first few weeks in one-to-one session. Coffee meetings, lunches, and they would discuss what makes the employee happy at work and what skills they would like to develop. That's the initial conversation. Now, after remote work, yes, he definitely still gathered employees' insight progressively over the first few weeks, in the first 2 weeks, and set up virtual one-to-one, coffee sessions, lunch chats, all that. And yes, also include one or two virtual working, one is to one, that is take us away from the computer screen, so they can discuss and he can understand about the person, only not concentrating on the professional matters. So some additional opportunity has been there when people are working remotely, not in front of the computer. Apart from the computer, they are discussing about different types of things which is not related to their professional work. L&D opportunities were shared by the employee success team during onboarding. So obviously that was before remote work. After remote work, the manager used to remind new hires as well as the entire team about the annual L&D budgets, learning and development budget, and also share helpful online courses, conferences, speakers, and on a quarterly basis, follow up with those who haven't yet used their L&D budget. So what he has done, he set achievable learning goals for that quarter. So obviously initially the L&D discussion was very much formal, but on the other hand the structure up to a certain extent was missing, And definitely, you all of you are aware, online learning, online conferences, courses, speaking, all these things are actually, after remote work has become latest phenomenon, and everyone is concentrating on that. So definitely the resources are more. And right now what he's doing, he's also concentrating and creating a quarterly L&D budget and following up with the team members whether it has been done or not. Before remote onboarding, the team members set clear goals on performance and L&D with 30, 60, 90-day plans. So always it has been divided into 30, 60, 90 days plan in a quarter. Now, right now, in addition to 30, 60, 90-day plans, he also had added reflective development goals. So goals helps them to stay aligned and focused while they're remote. Sometimes what happens, whenever you are not in front of the manager, not in front of your seniors, you may forget about your goals, but this will give you a continuous reminder about your goals, about the things you would like to do. So then some development goal examples are like that: by the end of 2020 or 2021, whatever, I will have developed my skill to connect with others through clear communication, and by the end of 2020, I will have developed my skill to storytell and relay value. So very clear goals, and that would be coming automatically, continuously, frequently in front of them to give them a reminder that yes, these are the areas they have promised to develop at the end of the year, and they must work on this, maybe through different courses, online courses, materials, whatever is the process, but they must work towards it. Now we'll go to the next function, that's developmental conversation. So before remote work, the manager leaned on quarterly check-in cycles to have meaningful conversations with team members. So quarterly team conversation. But right now, after remote work, added monthly recurring career conversation. Monthly recurring career conversation, very focused on career discussion with team members, and they discuss the progress they have made on their development goals, what they have learned, and if there is any need to change the goals. So very focused discussion. Before remote work, used to schedule weekly 1:1 with each team member so they can share their key priorities, progress, and any roadblocks. Now right now, to drive their professional growth, he also asked the team members to add development conversation starter to 1:1. So it's not only priorities, progress, or operational issues, but also developmental conversation, how they can move, how they can improve, what part of your current role is helping your career growth, what's missing, and what have you learned in this month at work. So obviously all this very development related questions has been asked, and it is a very integral part of the 1:1 conversation, while it was missing earlier while working not remotely. So it was mainly focusing on operational things. The next one is networking, very important for any business development representative team. So earlier BDR were encouraged to add different company-wide events. Why? Because they will then get to know about peers in marketing, customer success, and other departments. So now after remote work, the manager has created team goal to indicate that networking is a priority while we are remote. Every month, all BDRs need to schedule a virtual coffee chat or attend an online social meetup with reflectors. So that's very important. They must keep a continuous touch with their stakeholders, and that's how they can have the continuous networking. Next one is team learning. Development is one point, but as a team, you also must continue different types of learning initiative. So before remote work, BDR would showcase their unique strengths by training their team members on their skills and strategies. But right now, they still prioritize team meeting, team training, but in addition to that, BDRs train their peers after they complete an online course or another type of L&D program. So it's a knowledge sharing. Whenever someone is completing one certain course or certain things has been developed, skill set has been developed, they share it. So this really helps all the team members to scale their learning. Each BDR only has to take one course and everyone else can learn. So it's not like everyone will go for the same course and you need to spend a lot of money. One person will go for one course, learn it, grab the expertise, and then definitely come back and share their session. And obviously it is helping overall team learning and to grow as a team. Before remote work, team members learned more about their strengths with Clifton Strength Assessment, one specific type of assessment. Now the assessment is even more valuable. Why? Because people are remote. Because it helps the team to get to know one another. Additionally, it's helpful to understand each of the team members' strength, so the manager can ensure that they are at the right process and in the right opportunity is there in front of them according to their skill set. Now, before remote work, the team would learn from customers via chorus calls and customer speakers during all staff meetings. So customer speaks, gives their feedback. Now, when the entire team has shifted to remote work, the manager wanted the media team to learn from many different voices, not just customers. Earlier it was only customer voice, but right now it's not only customer voice. They should be hearing from enthusiastic, motivated people inspires the team to stay engaged and keep plugging away at their goals. So he has actually brought in several leaders who have spoken virtually to the team on a variety of topics. Like there are motivational speakers on sales development, and team really enjoyed that. So it's not only customers, it's also about industry practice. How to be motivated, how others are doing, how you can develop your self mental strength and can achieve more. All this type of things has been added. So the learning opportunity has actually increased when the team has shifted to a remote mode. Now, the next one is very important, that's gathering feedback, where before remote work, the manager has the opportunity to ask the team member for feedback on how their work lives could be improved and incorporate into the planning. But right now, he take a much more systematic approach to feedback and ensure that all voices are heard. There must not be a situation where someone is missing. So, the heavy user of reflective feedback to capture insights from the team member. On a quarterly basis, he requests feedback on team culture. BDR partnerships, managers, everyone is involved into that. He also encouraged the business development representative to request feedback after major work milestone so they can continue with their grow and develop professionally. So therefore, feedback is still there, but it becomes more systematic, structured, and he has actually created a framework to do this. Now the last one, but not the least, is building team culture. One of the most difficult or arguable part of remote working is managing, maintaining, continuing the team culture, because when team are scattered, people are not in front of each other and there is no presence of the organization, everyone is virtual, it's practically impossible to maintain a team culture. Now let's see what's the recommendation of this manager here. Now, earlier also, when you talk about a media team, the fact is they don't get much time together because they are always running behind the customers, calling each other. So if you talk about building a team culture, the opportunity was definitely very less. It's not like that only the presence of a physical office or workplace will helpful to create a team culture. Now, after remote work, to develop peer relationship, the manager has scheduled twice monthly working together sessions where two team members would hop on a Zoom call and work together for an hour. They will shadow each other. This gives them the opportunity to casually chat with one another and learn workflow tips and tricks, just like if you were sitting next to them in the office. He also scheduled a power hour session twice monthly where team members would pair a cold call with one another. They each took turns make dials and then rooting for another one when they connected with a prospect. So obviously this type of things will be bringing all the team members together, and it's quite exciting and almost similar while they are in office. And believe me, it's not like you are or can do or maintain company culture or team culture when you are in office. Sometimes presence of an office will not give you the reminder that yes, it's very important and you must do something about it. But when you are in remote work, people are more serious, systematic, and process oriented to create and maintain the team culture. Now, before remote work, he also learned very quickly that developing and maintaining a team culture couldn't solely rest on the shoulder of the team manager. It cannot be the responsibility of one person, and that's impossible to maintain a team culture. So he has done, after shifting to the remote work, empower the team to help the build the culture by scheduling weekly ambassadors. So each week, one team member would engage the team via Slack or Zoom or whatever it is through a conversation starter, shortcuts and any other ideas. And after several weeks engaging them more natural for everyone, he actually created a wing channel on Slack to create a culture of knowledge sharing. Team members share emails, videos, cold calls and emails that actually successfully yielded response from the prospect. So it's not only getting responsibility to manage the team culture for a week, also sharing different success story with other team members. And before remote work, he always wanted to create a space where everyone can have fun and their authentic service. Now after remote work, he close out every week with Friday games. So 5-second rule, Jeopardy, trivia, many more. It's fun to come together, laugh and bond over a game. Additionally, each month they have created a team SPIF, which is Sales Performance Incentive Fund. So what you have done, they are great for inspiring healthy competition among the team members. So actually it's a fund among the team members where percentage of the performance incentive will go to that fund, and he tried to create that required team members pair up together, which also helps them to build relationships. And finally, virtual experiences such as backing macarons for team building. So all this kind of activities, all kind of shared success, all this kind of shared experiences help the team to create a common culture across the globe. Yes, some of the things are definitely time consuming. Some of the things are definitely cannot happen over a period of time. Immediately you cannot do it. But yes, on the other hand, not only consider that remote work is actually something which is a roadblock in front of you. It can be an opportunity as well. The only thing, you just need to understand the technology, need to create a framework, need to create a process, and need to then manage your team in such a way that the process will improve. You will not only blame the remote work and not connecting with each other in a face-to-face interaction. So I hope it would be very much helpful at this current situation, and how we are every day facing challenges in different types of team conversation, managing team culture, networking, and all these areas. Thank you for listening.